This is Alícia and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while, but guys, I've been kind of busy and also I have embarked on a new journey and I am super excited to share that journey with you all. So guys, I decided to go to beauty school and I decided to go to esthetician school during a pandemic. So kind of crazy. I know it's different. I can tell just by entering the school how things are totally different since Rona decided to come in and change everything in our lives. Super excited. I decided to do the video. At first I wasn't going to do a video, but I know since I'm like so curious about this career, I decided to do some research myself and just Google just like what other people's expectations of esthetician school. And I really couldn't find too much, especially for I live in Illinois, so I couldn't find too much for anyone in Illinois. So I say I think I should do this video just in case someone needs some type of feedback or expectations, whatever. So I want to do this video. Now I'm only a few weeks away, and so I started in June because I always said if I ever got a chance to go to esthetician school that I was going to do it. And so I said, you know what, let me just go ahead and do it right now since we like quarantine. And I started in June, and I want to say my contracted date in November, so November 3rd. At first when I filled out my papers, my information, it say November 26th. But then once I got to school, within like a couple weeks and stuff, they go ahead and update. You have an hour, you have to update your, when they update your hours and your time. And then it said that my date would be November 3rd. But guys, give you a little bit of advice to esthetician school. Thing is that the school is like an accelerated program, so that means like as soon as you get in there, they going straight into everything. So I believe the first day, because it was 9 to 5, so we did do what's called distal learning, or DE, meaning that do some of your schooling at home online. And I will share in the next video what I got in my esthetician kit. But right now I'm just going to tell you about my expectations and what made me decide to go to school for this. I believe I did starting Monday and Tuesdays at home. And then you do Wednesday through Friday on the campus. Quite a few of the students was complaining, especially because of the corona. And, you know, they want to make sure we have enough space amongst the students. So the state board did lift a law where we were able to go back to doing 2 days throughout the week. 2 days at home and then 3 days on campus. First you do, I can't remember, I think your first 6 weeks or whatnot. I think my first 6 weeks I did 2 days at home, 3 days at the school. And then after that you just go Monday through Friday on the campus. You know, go back for us doing Monday and Tuesdays at home and Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays at the school. I think for a lot of us, you know, we were pretty happy about that. I go to Mario Tricoci. Like in my area, there's not that many esthetician schools, so I decided to go to that school. Again, like I said, when we first started going straight into everything, I really want to say the first day. So we did Monday and Tuesdays online. So I want to say the first physical day we learned massage. We went straight into it. Your first 6 weeks, they call it the essential week. So there's like the beginner courses or whatnot for your esthetician program. And so I feel like it was full pack. I remember doing a couple of tests in 1 week. So it's not that the program is hard, but I definitely advise you all to set a goal for yourself. Once the instructor explains what they expect from us, I can already set a goal for myself. So I already set my goal that I'm going to come in here, I'm going to get it done so I can go ahead and leave. And I don't want to have to extend my graduation time if I don't have to. If it's beyond my control, that's a different thing. But if it's in my control, I don't want to have to extend my graduation date. So I already had made that goal for myself. Once I got in there, again, they explain how everything works, how you get your hours. And then they allow you to come in a few minutes early. So I think the earliest is 15 minutes. So already I had in my mind that I was going to come to school early and gain that extra time. Well, that's what I did, and I'm pretty much like an on-time type of chick anyway, so it wasn't really hard for that. So far, keep your fingers crossed, I have yet to miss a day or ever been late. So I always try to make it to school. At first it was like 25 to 30 minutes early. Now I try to at least be there 20 minutes early so I can get that time. Once I ate it all up, 15 minutes each day coming in, especially when we was on campus Monday through Friday, equals up to 5 hours out of the month. And so the program is stretched to 5 to 6 months. That was my plan, and I just pretty much stuck with it. And then by me sticking to that, I was able to gain what they call makeup hours. So I have like 32 makeup hours, so just like 4 days. that's how I was able to gain those extra hours. So that pushed my graduation date up. Maybe a couple of months ago, since I've been on this path here, making sure I come to school and all that stuff, my graduation date boosted up to 1 day, which would be November 2nd. And then my graduation day is October 30th. Hi guys, I want to jump in and give you a quick update on my hours and my graduation date. Don't judge me, guys. I'm looking all crazy. I did straighten my hair. I did 2 bantu knots, top knots, so I could get this wavy look, and this is my hair. Anywho, quick update. So I didn't graduate 10/30. I ended up graduating November 10th, and I just want to give you an update, especially if you're attending Tricoci and you are in the state of Illinois, about how the attendance rate and your hours work. So 10/28 comes. I'm at high 7 something, not high 7 something. I'm like at 7, early 7 something, as far as my hours concerned. So Wednesday through Friday, again, we are on campus. So I complete Wednesday that day. Thursday came. Some confusion, just not with myself and my hours, but a few of my classmates as well. So a lot of us had to kind of like miss days, miss hours, because our attendance rate was over 100%. So in the state of Illinois, you can't graduate over 100% attendance rate. And again, I mentioned that I had not ever missed a day or was ever late, so that made my attendance rate 106 point some percent. So that's become that became a conflict within my attendance rate, because what was told to me is that the state of Illinois kind of already have it mapped out on how much time it would take for you to complete 750 hours with the aesthetics program. So if you're gaining too much time within the time that was set for the program, then it looks funny. So they don't want you to graduate over 100% attendance rate. Isn't that crazy? You're not missing any days or whatnot, and you end up pretty much can't graduate early. So it's set to where you're not really able to graduate too early because of this reason. And also with my hours, one thing I learned in the app is that, for example, if I'm close to 700 hours total hours, so your app has the total hours, and it has scheduled hours, and it has makeup hours. Yeah, it has makeup hours. So my total hours, it would be my clocked hours plus any additional time I've gained over the course of the months of attending the program. In any case, if my total hours end up reaching 750 hours before my clock hours, it makes me an incomplete graduate. And I know that doesn't make sense, but that was what was told to me. Your scheduled hours is what make you a graduate. So again, if I reach 750 hours before my clock hours, I'm just an incomplete graduate. So your scheduled clock hours has to reflect 750 hours to make you a graduate. And in my case, I did have additional time. I would have been considered incomplete. So Wednesday came. Again, I completed the day Wednesday. I was sent home. I was advised to go home Thursday, miss Friday that following week, and then come back that Monday. So with that being said, I only had 12 scheduled clock hours left to do. It was told if I come Monday, I only had to be online for 1 hour, I would be done. I kind of figured that wasn't correct, because according to my app, I wasn't scheduled or clocked for those 12 hours. So I knew that I was going to have to do more time than what was said to me. And so, of course, when that time came, I had to do all Monday and most of Tuesday, because my time had to reflect 12 hours clocked in. And so I didn't trip too much. And again, it's not to bash anyone. I'm not. It's just pretty much just kind of give you idea to how the hours are, how you gain your hours and what to do. There's nothing wrong if you don't miss any days. There's nothing wrong if you decide to clock in, especially for like in the future, like you have doctor's appointments or your children, or you just have to miss a day. And if you have that additional time, that time can go towards your makeup time. So it's nothing wrong with that. But I highly advise, I truly highly advise that when you get close to your graduation date, make sure you reach out and ask your counselor, your instructor, whoever, do I need to miss some time? Do I need to clock in later or whatever. So your attendance rate. So because the thing is, you have to watch out for your hours. Then you also have to watch out for your attendance rate. So you don't want to graduate. You don't want your attendance rate to be over 100% when it getting close to the day you're supposed to actually graduate, because then they're pretty much gonna tell you you're gonna have to miss some time or miss a day or clock in late, and that's gonna push back your graduation date. And so for me, I really didn't trip too much about it, because when I did have to come back to school, I came back on remote days, which is Monday and Tuesday. So I just had to finish my days out at home. But and also, again, it's not to bash anyone, because I know that it's a lot of confusion, and then I also know with the pandemic and COVID that's going on, it makes things a little confusing, and then we're all trying to adjust to our new norm. So I just want to pop in and advise you all with that. Just make sure you stay up on that and your hours. Another tip I can give you also for esthetician school, something that I also set a goal for, is to stay ahead of other courses. Yeah, I'm gonna show you everything in the next video, but I made a decision to stay ahead. So they allow you to work ahead, and that's what I did. My final practical was eyebrows and bikini wax, and then my final test, I did that way before it was time for testing. My practical, I did it like 3 weeks before the actual day that was set for me to actually take the test, and I did my written test a week ahead, because my instructor didn't allow us to take the test too far ahead with the written part. But I went on and did that so I can be able to study for my state boards. Because here in Illinois, I don't know about any other states, but here in Illinois, if you get to 600 hours and your GPA or whatnot is all good, you doing great. You don't owe any. You don't have to do any makeup tests. Again, your grades is great. You did your final, so if everything is done in a curriculum and you had 600 hours, you are allowed to take your test early at 600 hours. You just have to ask your counselor for an unofficial transcript to submit to whoever you need to submit that to take your test early. The thing about it is, you're not going to be able to get your license until you actually complete 750 hours. So there's no way around that. But what happens is, all you're doing is, now if you caught up with everything, you're just really waiting and just getting the rest of your hours, and then once you're done, you just get your license. You don't have to worry about that. I found that to be pretty cool. That is my goal, so that's the goal I'm working on, just because it was mentioned to me that around the holidays it can kind of get a little bit difficult to try to get that testing done. So that was a goal that I already had made in my mind that I wanted to do. Pretty much esthetician school, we learn massage techniques, so that's very important to get you prepared in your career. What else? Different body treatments. So we have to learn back treatments, detox treatments, all that. And then you work with electricity, different tools and different ways to treat skin. So you learn how to work with that. And then also product knowledge, which is very, very important in this career, is knowing products and the benefits and the ingredients of the products, because that's going to be pretty much a lot of your money making. The esthetician career. And then we learn waxing. So waxing of the face, eyebrows, chin, lip, underarm, arms, bikini, legs, toes, wherever's near it. We have to learn that. And then learning eyebrow and lash tinting. Then microcurrents. So that's kind of like a non-surgical facelift. And then microdermabrasion or epidermabrasion, I believe you have to be careful on how you word that, because we only allowed to treat the epidermis. And then, so that's the outer layer of the skin. Chemical peels, so all of that. So it was very exciting to actually learn how to, and getting the proper knowledge on how to treat the skin. And again, I found out on a lot of stuff that sometimes overusing products can be more harm than good. I actually fell in love with the career. Actually, I feel like I'm pretty good at it. Of course, I have a lot of learning into it, so I'm not to my own horn. But I do get pretty much, good feedback when I perform my services. Right now, we don't do as many clients because of Corona. That's the down part of it. And again, it's no one's fault about it, but that is the down part, is because if it was like a normal schooling, we would probably receive a lot of clients. And I believe they have it where you have to perform so many services before you even graduate. I decided to go to school in the pandemic. They kind of waived that. So I have seen clients, but for most part, we really do a lot of services on ourselves. And I feel like with the class I'm at, that I'm in, we're really blessed because it are combining classes, meaning that some of us started earlier than others. I believe the earliest class that I'm in, I started in June, so I think the earliest of some of my peers started was like April, so they'll be done pretty soon. But it's a lot of us actually in the class compared to what I think most time they have in the class. Maybe they have like between 4 to 6 people starting, and I think what our class combined was like 18, 19. So I feel like we got a chance to really practice on different faces, face shape, face type. We also learn makeup and special effects as well. Not too much detail in makeup, and I think that'll be a thing that some people might feel disappointed about, because I know a lot of people decide to go to school for esthetician. Well, quite a few of the girls in my class decided to go to esthetician school to also learn how to do makeup, and it's really not that. You know, makeup, the makeup portion is really brief. The special effects is really brief. You really don't learn a lot of makeup. If that's a concern for you, or that's the reason why you want to go to esthetician school, I'm just warning you that you're not going to learn a lot of makeup. If you want to learn a lot of makeup, I do suggest that you go to an actual makeup school, but also be mindful that in the state of Illinois, you do not have to be licensed to do makeup. I'm actually a pro makeup artist myself, and I've been one for like 8 years now, so you don't have to be licensed or certified. It just looks good for you. Find sites where you can get certified for sanitation. That's helpful, especially with corona. You don't have to be a licensed esthetician to do makeup. It just looks good on your background if you are doing it. If you're trying to do makeup, I'll suggest that you go to a makeup school, take a few courses, or just find family and friends to practice on. Just keep practicing on makeup. We really wasn't taught Brazilian waxing. We only was taught bikini waxing. I don't know why. Maybe I should ask that, but I guess this is how the curriculum is set up. We've only learned bikini waxing. And then one thing I do regret that they did not teach us lash extensions, because it wasn't in the curriculum, and they said that it would have extended our program, but they once had offered it. So we learned like basic what they call lash tabbing. They kind of look like the extensions, the ones that got like 3 or 4 hairs on there. But as far as lash extensions, we don't learn that. If we want to learn it, we have to actually take additional classes in order to get certified. But you don't have to be certified to do lash. But in Illinois, and I know a lot of people do not know this, you have to be licensed to do lash extensions. You cannot do those just out for certification alone, because you're dealing with fumes and all that stuff. And then too, when you're performing those type of services, you have to be insured. So it's a lot of misleading information out there when it comes to lash lash extensions out there, that a lot of people think if they go pay for classes to get certified, that they are able to do this, provide this service, and that's not true. You have to be licensed to do it in order to provide this service. Oh, guys, I'm trying to make sure I'm not just rambling. I'm trying to make sure I'm offering you information that's helpful. So again, my program is from June to November. Again, if you set a goal to get in there, get it done, you can graduate a little bit earlier. Our program is set up. If for some reason you do not finish or stay on course with your curriculum, I think they allow you a 14-day grace period. And I think if you don't fulfill that by the time of 14 days after your contract date, I think they automatically terminate you from the program. Please make sure that this is something you want to do. And even in any case, just say for instance, life happens, communicate that with your counselor. You can get your time paused and just deal whatever you need to deal with it, then come back. You don't want to be in a situation where things are happening and you're not letting your instructor know, you're not letting the counselor know, and then you're only allowed to miss so many days in the program, and then they just automatically terminate you. I know my instructor, my first instructor, which was in my beginning courses for esthetician, was stressing for us to make sure that we stay on course when it comes to the curriculum. Make sure we're studying, passing a test, because I recall her saying one of her students that the girl kind of just played around in her course, didn't quite take it serious, and then when it came to her ending date, she caught up with all her work, she passed all her tests, her finals, and she did all of that. But then when it's time for them to submit the information to the actual state, the state looked over everything and told her she couldn't even take the state board. So because for what they looking at, it's like she didn't take the program serious from day one, and it didn't look like it was just an occasional thing of her struggling with certain chapters or certain procedures or whatnot. It was that she just wasn't taking it serious, and she decided to cram everything in at the last minute to finish, and so they didn't even allow her to take her state board. So that's one thing I stress, like, sure that's something you want to do, or if you feel like you're not going to be as committed in the career right now, don't force yourself to do it, because all what's going to happen is you're going to get in there, they're going to terminate you, and then you wasting money. So please do not do that. Another thing that kind of threw me off guard, I don't know why it threw me off guard, is that, you know, it's a lot of females, so it's a little cattiness going on. But I just really stress, go in there and do what you have to do. Don't get involved. Don't get tricked into certain conversations. Go in there and do what you need to do and leave, because the program really moves fast. I remember I had one weekend, I think it was a July 4th weekend. It was a really rough weekend, and I kind of allowed whatever that was to distract me that weekend. And I was already working ahead, but just that one day that I allowed to distract me, I felt like I was behind in my goal, you know, so I had to play catch up. Again, I wasn't behind in the curriculum at all, but just my goal that I have, that I set for myself in the program, I was kind of behind, so I had to really play catch up. So at the end, I did pretty good, because again, I worked ahead, and now I'm just really just sitting here getting hours. I do suggest as you get on, because I know a lot of us had different expectations of what we wanted to do once we started school, and then once we got into school and started learning stuff. A lot of expectations change as far as what fields we want to go in, meaning that esthetician can it offer you a broad range of things that you can do. Say for instance, somebody may just want to be a wax specialist. They probably don't want to do facials. They probably want to do lashes. They just want to do waxing. You have some people who don't care about facials. They just want to do lashes. You have people who doesn't care about waxing or lashes. They'd rather do facials. So that's one thing about this career that's very rewarding, that you can go in any field. And so for myself, what I realized is that I've never been into waxing. I never got an underarm wax. Only thing I ever got waxed was like an eyebrow, and that was years ago when I attended cosmetology school. I didn't finish. I was almost over. I didn't finish, but hey, if you all been following me, you know that's the story, my story. But anyhow, so I never really was into waxing, because at the time that I got it done, it hurt. So I never seen myself really waxing. It wasn't one of those things like, I want to do. But once I got in it and actually felt like I was pretty good at it, I'm like, oh wow, I really can see myself waxing. So that's the thing about when you go to school, and then once you learn how to do it the proper way, it's also rewarding. So for me, my goal would be, I love actually doing facials. So I really love doing facials. And then I also waxing and lash extensions. See myself doing that. One thing I wasn't interested in is the detox treatment. So I've got one done years ago when I was in cosmetology school. Didn't like it at all. So I don't see myself offering those services. I felt that way when I first started the program. I definitely feel that way now once I actually learned these things. You also could become a medical esthetician. You can also get into microblading. So you can do that. I was thinking about getting certified for that as well. I don't know. I'm still like, thinking about it. And also permanent hair remover. I was thinking about going to get my license for that for sure. Again, that's down the line. I want to get my feet wet. I want to get some experience. What I've done is just did research, you know, because going into this, like growing up, I didn't know anything about an esthetician. I knew about a dermatologist, not an esthetician. I think that's pretty much it, guys, as far as I'm trying to make sure I just hit a lot of key points for what to expect in esthetician school. Especially going to school through a pandemic. Again, I'm not going to school through a normal time, so hopefully in the future things will change. I will say we didn't really get as much experience that I know we would have got if we was going to school during a normal time. Blessed to have sisters, nieces, god sisters, my mom to practice on. But other than that, guys, that's it. Again, wait, I think that's it. Yeah, I did mention that Illinois you need 750 hours. Guys, that's it. Anything else, it'll be a part 2 of this. Alright guys, if you like this video, please thumbs it up. Comment down below if you have any questions. Again, if I missed something, I'm just really thinking on top of my head about schooling. And again, since I'm at the end, there's a lot of stuff I hope I didn't miss. If there's anything that you feel like I missed or you had some questions about, just comment down below. Again, thumbs up the video and subscribe for more videos as such. Until next time, guys.